Alright, what's up, gang? So, right now, as I'm recording this, it's 2:42 in the morning, right? So, like I told y'all before, normally at nighttime, which I feel like that's probably God trying to communicate with me, through nighttime, I start to feel like really anxious, and I do not feel better or calm until I have a conversation with God or until I journal and He shows me something. So, anybody else out there, you seriously may have a spiritual gift that you just don't understand, and when God is trying to communicate with you, He might trigger you through anxiety, and that's to bring you close to Him because He has something to reveal to you. Okay, but that's not what this video is for. Okay, this video, y'all, I wanted to break down to y'all. Oh my goodness, the way this came about was unexpected. That's how I know this is nothing but God. This was not my plan, right? My plan was to get to the bottom of why I'm so anxious and nervous at nighttime and stuff like that. So I wrote down how I was feeling, which was, stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, stuff like that. Battle with feeling unsafe, uneasy, stuff like that. And then I wrote down why I was feeling these ways, what it was that I was stressed about. And I realized, I was like, oh shit, this is stress. This is fucking stress. And then it hit me like, damn, it's because I'm operating too much in my yang and my masculine energy. And yes, we both are to be composed of both femininity and masculinity. But a woman, her gender is designed for her to mostly rest in her feminine energy, right? And a man to mostly rest in his masculine energy with a hint of femininity in there, right? To relate to the woman and vice versa, right? But what happens is, well, in my case, what has happened was I've embodied too much masculinity, and that's out of my element. It's out of my nature. That's not how I'm supposed to be. So I am getting the whiplash of this shit. Literally, physical symptoms. Racing heart, anxiousness, uneasiness, insomnia, not being able to fucking sleep because I am not in the energy that I'm supposed to be in, right? But anyways, so I got to asking a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions that I have written down, which was, how am I supposed to switch over to my feminine energy? How can I even allow a man to fully take control how he's supposed to, right? Like, because it sounds like a cute idea, like, oh, okay, let a man lead. But from experience, like most women, which I'm going to get into that, y'all, God, when I tell you, He was reading me up and down. But anyways, a lot of us women who have had the wound, the trauma in childhood from a fatherly figure to where they were not there, we were not able to rely on them. We did not feel protected by them. They did not keep their word. They were not consistent. It has instilled within us that men don't do their jobs. They're incapable. They're inadequate. They don't have basically what it takes to fulfill. So we put on this armor, right? And what happens is when we do that, y'all, not only are we stressing ourselves the fuck out because God didn't intend for us to be in that energy forever. Maybe we needed to be in it for that moment to get through that situation. But God's design for the woman was not for her to remain in her masculine energy. So what happens is we get the physical whiplash of that shit. Hypertension, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, fast beating heart, can't fucking sleep, stressed the fuck out, hormones fluctuating all over the place, and it's because we're not in our fucking element. And not only is it fucking us up, but it's also fucking a man up. And let me tell you how. Whew. Let me tell you how. A man needs space. He needs respect. He needs to have the responsibility of being a man, and he needs to feel trusted. He needs to feel trusted that he's going to do what the fuck he's supposed to do. But what happens is, because us women are so deep in our masculine energy, I learned a new fucking word. We micromanage men. And I'm going to break that shit down, right? Micromanaging is whenever we don't really trust men to do what the fuck they said they're going to do. So when they say they're going to do something, we keep checking in like, hey, did you do this yet? Or did you do that? Or if they did, it was just like, oh, why you do it like that? Or, you could have, or either we criticize that shit, right? And the way that makes the man feel, come here so I can tell you. It makes the man feel disrespected, stifled, inadequate, undervalued, unappreciated, discouraged. It damages his confidence, his self-esteem. It makes him feel like a failure. It makes him frustrated. It makes him feel criticized. It makes him feel controlled, belittled. It diminishes the emotional intimacy, so you'll notice that he's pulling back. And I'm going to get into the behaviors, but right now this is about how we make the man feel when we put this wall up and don't trust their ass, and we micromanage and try to take control of everything, right? It makes them feel resentful, irritable, defensive, suffocated. No room to express themselves or make decisions. They feel trapped. It makes them feel powerless, and it makes them feel unimportant. And what goes through their mind is, what I'm doing is not good enough. Because if they try to do something, we micromanage it and be like, well, why the fuck did you do it like that? Why did you take so long? Or why didn't you do it like this? Or, it could have been easier if you did it this way. Or we step in and do that shit for them, right? And it also makes them think, okay, she doesn't trust me, and she does not respect me as an equal, right? So the behaviors that a man starts to demonstrate when he feels this way because of what we are doing, because we are in survival mode for some childhood shit, right? His behavior, he starts to withdraw. He starts to be passive aggressive. Also, he starts to become passive, meaning he throws his fucking hands up. Like, she wants to control everything. Anything I do, she fucking criticizes it. She ain't hearing me out. She wants shit to go her way. So let me just fucking fall back. So they reinstall within us that fear and that belief that, oh, niggas ain't shit. They don't do what they supposed to do. They don't keep their word. They ain't about no business. And it's literally a reaction to how we have been treating them because of our childhood shit. All right? But, all right. So it also makes them, behavior-wise, it makes them resentful. It makes them passive-aggressive, sarcastic. They start lashing out. It makes them become more avoidant, avoiding spending time with you, avoiding even fucking taking responsibility, because they know if they try to take responsibility, we're going to fucking say something, we're going to have a problem with it, we're going to nag, we're going to criticize, we're going to find fault with something that they have done, right? It's going to spark a lot of arguments. Now, before this video runs out, some advice that is for me and to other women who struggle with the hyper independence, which that's a trauma response, that's a defense mechanism, and I'll have to do a completely different video on that, right? But advice is to practice trust and delegation, to step back, allow flexibility in how goals are met, not to criticize a man for how he does things, focus on the bigger picture, not the details, encourage independent decisions, show appreciation, release perfectionism. Things do not have to be done our way. Understand why we control, which once again, it always ties back to some childhood shit. Maybe daddy wasn't there to keep his fucking word, or, whatever the case may be, right? Release control, don't overstep boundaries, practice patience, don't rush, and don't control things. But once again, I'll do a part 2 of what hyper independence is, why it exists, how it shows up in women, and how it causes us to literally make men end up reacting to us in ways of how we believe that men should act. And it's literally a reaction to some shit that we're doing out of survival mode, y'all. This shit is fucking deep. Mind blown, my guy. Mind fucking blown.